Hi guys, and welcome back to a new episode with MTG Josh. Today we will be looking at Arcades, the Strategist. It's 1 green, white, blue for a 3/5 flying vigilance dragon. And it says whenever a creature with defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So the main idea of the deck is loads of defenders, loads of big toughness creatures, and then eventually when you have them all out, you can utilize its second ability, which says each creature you control, defender, assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, and can attack as though it didn't have defender. So it makes every defender into a viable attacker, and you crush the opponent with big butts. So once you've got lots of good cards out, like Wall of Blossoms, which is a defender 0/4, comes and draw a card, and Carven Caryatid, draw a card. So yeah, just lots of ways to refill your hand. You can try and crush your opponent using the enchantment called Assault Formation, which says each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So it's the same ability as Arcades, but you can pay 2 in green to make your whole team get +0/+1 until end of turn. So that obviously translates to power, so it's incredibly powerful. If you want to sneak out another way to kill your opponent very quickly, it's tower defense. So you attack with the 3 or 4 guys. The opponent doesn't really block because they don't think anything of it, and then you give them all +5 toughness, which basically means +20 damage if you can get this through. Some other support cards that you'll really enjoy to use is Charix, which is a 4 mana 0/17. So you don't have loads of islands in the deck, but the sheer fact it has 17 toughness is incredible, and you can just smash in, hopefully going for the win with that. Toski to draw you more cards whenever you swing in, and one of the best cards in the format, Panamonican, to double all your ETB triggers. So yeah, let's get into some games and see how we do today with this deck. Don't forget guys, if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to support my channel. It really means a lot when you do that, and the deck list will be in the description below. We go first against Geshaf, and there will be a dinosaur tribal deck. If Geshaf manages to hit us once, we're probably dead. So we're going to try and finish him off before we get to that point. So yeah, Geshaf is an 8 mana 7/6 with Vigilance, Trample, Haste, and when it deals damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your deck. Put any dinosaurs from them onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom in random order. Pretty scary. So yeah, let's get some land out and see if we can race them. Such is the way. We like to see temples because it means they don't have any early plays. Oh goodness, so they do have one way to reduce dinosaurs. Mana cost. Maybe we go for the drowsing Pteranodon. And then we'll keep up the Night of Autumn in case they go for an Artifact or Enchantment ramp. We do desperately need the 4th land though. Okay. So they're keeping up mana. Okay, so they're not doing that. Then I think I'm going to go for the Night of Autumn and put some counters on it. This means that the Pteranodon can attack. If things get hairy, we can always ephemerate the Night of Autumn, and then it can kill a couple of mana rocks perhaps. But because they're a green deck, they might not be using rocks, they might be using creatures to ramp. Okay, Needletooth Raptor. When it's dealt damage, it deals 5 damage to target creature. Wow, that's powerful. Okay, so we do get a land here. It's a shame we couldn't get an extra one. Castle Garenbrig is fine on top. Maybe it would have been good to attack there just to get rid of the Needletooth Raptor. This is a really powerful card, especially if he can ping it himself with some kind of effect. So they're going to have a hell of a lot of mana here. 4, 5, 6, 7. So they could potentially cast their Geshaf in the following turn. Okay, so we really need to. So I think we're going to attack here. If they block, then, well, so be it. But it would be good to get rid of those things now. And then we'll go for the Arcades, I think. So yeah, this is make or break. They could literally kill us. Mirari's Wake. Okay, so they're going for the long game. Intriguing. So still have 4 mana open. Raging Raptors. Okay. So, important thing to do. Firstly, we want to ephemerate the Night of Autumn here. We want to get rid of that Maraud's Wake, because it's absolutely brutal. So, destroy the enchantment here. I am really surprised they didn't actually just go for the Geshaf, which they could have just literally done that. Selfless Saviour could be good. Snakeskin Veil. So this is going to be good if they redirect with the Needletooth Raptor. And let's go for Tetsuko Umezawa. This means we can attack with unblockables. Okay, yeah, so let's go in with these guys. If they block anything with the Needletooth Raptor, we can just Snakeskin Veil whatever it targets. Interesting, so they could be trying to just preserve. Double blocking the Pteranodon, that's interesting. I mean, that's actually... That would have actually been a good play, because they would have actually got a land with that. So let's see where it goes with this. So here's where we go for the Snakeskin Veil, protect our Arcades. Right. So if Geshaf comes out, it will swing in. The dinosaurs it gets from the top of the deck, they're not attacking blockers. So it's not even that scary, is it? 5, 6. Yeah, we can just block it and then no damage. So that was pretty lucky. I think they should have gone for the Geshaf 1 turn early. Yeah, that was a pretty fun game though. We go first against a Tovalar red-green werewolf build, so they're going to be very aggressive and they're going to be able to draw just as many cards as we are. Starting hand is decent. We've got 3 lands, 4 defenders, so we're going to have a very defensive army here. Toski is nice. I want to keep that on top, despite not having the mana to play him yet. The opponent might struggle to kill an indestructible as well. So let's go for another temple. Having a land on top is cool. And I think I'll just play 1 defender just to give us something here, something to do. And yeah, I'm happy to leave up more mana perhaps. Or maybe we could go some more defenders, so when we cast Arcades we can swing right in maybe. Yeah, that could be good. Let's do that. Weaver of Blossoms, so they're going to be able to block our piranhas with that. So maybe this would be a good time to go for the Toski, because if we have 1 more mana in the following turn, we can cast Arcades and protect him with the Ephemerate, which is something I'm very up for doing. Chromatic Lantern, so they're taking a turn off to ramp even more, which is always a scary sign. Could be anything from Ugin. So yeah, let's go for the Arcades here. And then we will be able to draw a heck of a lot of cards just from this 1 swing, which is pretty sweet. The opponent does have 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so let's pray they don't have Ugin, because that would pretty much neutralise us. I mean, Ugin in a werewolf deck is a bit odd for flavour, but there you go. We're playing in the quite high tiers here. I'm pretty sure Arcades is one of the top commanders, just because the opponents I've been facing are quite scary. So if this hits us, does 1 damage to creature, play it, and planeswalk it. Okay. Here comes Tovalar. So he wants to be able to draw with the Tovalar. So I'm tempted to flicker the Thoughtbound Phantasm here. Okay, and the reason for that is, so one, we draw a card. Two, when we block, they can only kill the Thoughtbound Phantasm. And I'd rather lose that than the 3/3. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Rebound. So we might as well flicker the Piranhas just to draw an extra card here. So yeah, Ephemerate is just incredible in this kind of deck. Yeah, let's keep playing cards that just draw us more cards. Pretty crazy how you can just keep going on and on and on. The value is intense, really is. And we can keep back the assault formation because the opponent doesn't know about that yet. So we're literally just going off here. And I want to leave up this Snakeskin Veil in case they target the Arcades. So let's swing in just with these guys for now. The Snakeskin Veil is a nice trick on the Toski as well. If they block it with a 2/2, we can pump it, drawing yet another card. And yep, we just have so many cards here, we don't even need to keep the Hoopo anymore. There's a cute little bird there. It's got 3 toughness, which is valid. And you can pay 5 to draw 2, gain 2 life and draw a card. So it's a really nice kind of anti-control card if they keep holding up their mana. It's nice to have something to do with your own mana. At this point in time, the opponent will need some kind of board wipe to clear the field, where it's going to be very tricky for them to get through. They do have an awful lot of ramp. Let's see if they can get out of this tricky situation. Hookhand Mariner, okay. So luckily they haven't played anything that's overly terrifying. The rights of Victimart can potentially be quite scary. It's like having a guy's cradle when it flips. But you know, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to last another turn here. So let's see what we can do. Anything in the graveyard we can get back with the Nature's Spiral. So that returns a permanent. I guess for now we'll just draw a couple cards. So yeah, it's looking pretty rough. Go for the Giant Ox. So it's a 2 mana 6/6 really. And then we can swing in with everything again. Not really bothered about losing anything to the hook hand because we're swinging in with so much power here. So if they don't block, so we've got 3, 4, 7, 10, 14, 17 if they don't block. So they have to really, don't they? And all the trades aren't really in the opponent's favour. Okay, this is interesting. So they're reassigning their blocks. Yeah, that's fine. So they're at 2. Okay, and we draw a hell of a lot of cards here. And yeah, we'll just pass the turn, keeping up the Snakeskin Veil, discard 5 cards. Yep, just discard mostly lands and a board wipe, because we're not going to be using any of those. So the opponent will need a board wipe to get rid of our things, and do they get one? Here comes a Maraud. So in normal situations this would be scary. That's quite a funny animation, just his head pops up on screen. So they get double combats. I mean, it's a valiant attempt from the opponent here. Hanging in. Okay, so, yeah. Passing back to us, I think. Or maybe swinging in, who knows? Well, I mean, we can block with our... creatures, so it's not really sure what's going on here. Yeah, no blocks. It's got the ability that... yeah. So I couldn't have blocked it with a giant ox. Okay, and then we have a lot more attackers than they have defenders, so... I'm not really sure what the purpose of this trolling is, but there you go. They obviously can't see the writing on the wall. And yeah, opponent finally realises that it was an impossible situation. Cool, fair enough. Moving on to the next game. Opponent goes first again with the Tyvar Kel Golgari Elves deck. We do have a Guild of Goose on turn 1, which is pretty sweet. Always nice to see that. So we kind of want to save the food for when we can get Arcades out, really, or maybe a Toski. Sylvan Ranger to get them a land. So luckily it's not actually a ramp, it just searches for land, puts into their hand. And maybe... okay, yeah, let's... yeah, that is unfortunate. We can't really play any white spells because we'd have to sack the food token, so we'll just leave it for a turn here. We do have the Glacial Fortress, but if we played at that turn it would have been tapped anyway. Okay, so now we have access to white. We could go for Toski, but I think getting some more mana first would be good so we can double spell eventually. So yeah, we'll just defend for now. So now things get tricky if they go for Tyvar, they can just make loads of elves. Okay, so they go for Storov, that's interesting. So they can have a way to attack in with a 5/4 Trampler, and they can get creatures or planeswalkers back, which is a very powerful ability. So we have 5 mana. I still think for now, just get the Toski out. And then next turn we'll have access to 6 mana, so we can Arcades plus one of our 2 drops as well. Having Toski out is nice because it just lets us be able to get even more card advantage. Okay. And strangely enough, they haven't bothered going for the Tyvar, which I think I probably would have done at this point, but I guess they're more focused on hitting their land drops as well, perhaps. Whenever they cast a creature or planeswalker, they get to venture into the dungeon, so this is super useful for them. So attempting to just take the 5 here, no point in blocking with that just yet. So now we can go for the Arcades plus the drawbridge. Wow, and the sword is pretty epic there. And if they don't block, well, we get to draw some cards. So let's see what happens. Obviously blocking Toski is a freebie, but everything else is going to cost them. Double blocking the wall. Wow. I'm happy to take that. I guess they can just get anything back once they attack with the Storov. So that is going to be annoying to keep having to face the things over and over again. Varus triggering on a creature or planeswalker is actually pretty epic. I'm happy to discard a card because we have a lot here.
Scolds would take days to recount all our feats.
Now, they do have reach with the Varus, so we have to be wary of this blocking. Or he just able to block Ochre and Assassin do so. That's going to be annoying. So we could mutate onto Arcades here. That's going to be pretty sweet. Or we could Giant Ox. So we have 6 mana we can play with. But we also draw. Making the Toski indestructible could be pretty sick as well. So yeah, let's... But then would flying be better? Or maybe even putting it onto the Guild of Goose could be useful, actually. Actually, yeah, that's probably for the best, because then we're just splitting up our... we're just diversifying our threats. And now we can go to combat. So they've got a reach that they can block 2 flyers. So we'll swing both the flyers into Tyvar, and the drawbridge into them, and the mist into them as well. So yeah, it's a pretty decent attack there. We've got some nice lifelink blockers for when they swing back. And we can even sword to Plowshares the Ochre and Assassin in their turn, so we don't have to block it with the Arcades. So this is one strange instance where Vigilance is actually detrimental. Okay. Yep, so they'd rather kill the drawbridge than kill the Arcades, interestingly enough.
I've let my people down.
Yep, so I think their plan is to attack with the Storev. Whenever it deals damage to us, they're going to return something from the graveyard. So they're probably going to get back one of these. So we might want to sword the Storev here. Let's see what they do first. Bit of a tricky matchup to navigate for both players here. So let's see what this card does. I'm not quite familiar with... Okay, I can't even see what it says. Each player loses 2 life unless they sack a creature, artifact, or land. Okay. I feel like that's a very aggressive dungeon to go down, especially when they're on lower life than us. No, I don't want to sack anything, really. I'll take the 2. So, whenever enters, choose one. Remove X counters from permanent, or target creature opponent controls gets -X to X number of elves. So they've got 5 elves, so in response, exile the Storev. And yeah, that was enough to overwhelm the opponent there. Obviously, they would have had a hard time coming back with our flyers attacking and dealing damage and drawing cards, so yeah, pretty cool game. Opponent goes first with an Azusa build. It's a mono green, big ramp, and we don't have any ramp, so let's mulligan this. This is much better. Goose, Spiral, and the Birth of Meletis. So I think we go for the turn 1 Goose here. That's the dream, isn't it? Oh, a window. So perhaps... I think we'll go for the Birth of Meletis first, get some lands out, and then we can growth Spiral later on. Although you could argue that maybe we should have played the Temple there. So here comes Azusa, lots of Rampage. Okay, now we have to be careful because they've got so much mana. So I think I want to leave the negate up. We got a defender, but I think there's better things to get. Yeah, so we'll leave the mana up here. They could have 7 mana on their turn. 5, 6, and 8 actually. Gaining life, so that's intriguing. I wonder why they put the gingerbread cabin in, just for that incidental life gain perhaps? Augur of Autumn, okay. So here's the obligatory Field of the Dead. And Escape Shift, well, luckily I left the negate up, because that would have been game over, wouldn't it? With the older Field of the Dead there. Would have been dead in the following turn. So let's risk an Arcades. Let's see if they have a good follow-up to that. I wish the animation would stop. Yeah, I couldn't actually see the creature there to attack with. That's a bit of a strange technical issue. So, do we have a way to come back from this? Now they've got Field of the Dead and Field of Ruin. Every card beginning with the word field. Okay, so they're getting rid of our dual land. It's quite annoying. Get one back. But then they get a zombie as well. I guess we're a bit desperate really, so... Flash in a defender. Wow, okay. Big ball move. We kind of have... this is pretty epic, this tower defense right now. I think we need to establish more attackers first. The irony of establishing attackers with defenders. Go to combat. I guess we'll swing in with just Arcades for now. And let's just hope they don't have a board wipe or anything. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty stupid. Playing lands like from the top with All of Autumn with the Zeusser. So I do apologise if you can hear music. That is the sound of incredible pain that I have to endure having a child. Listening to children's songs all day long. And this growth spiral. We might as well play a land here. Toski's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I do wonder if we will be able to get any damage in though. Swing in with everything. See what they block with. See if they're not blocking. Oh, interesting. Well, that kind of worked out, didn't it? Always good to beat a Field of the Dead player there. So we go first against a Liliana Untouched by Death deck. It's going to be mono black zombies. We do need the third land though, and we don't currently have that. And this is a lot better. So we can start with the Llanowar Elves. Okay, so yeah, let's go for the Elves here. So Lily's all about zombies. They can mill 3 cards. If a zombie's milled, drain us for 2. Target creature gets -X/-X, where X is the number of zombies they control, and -3 you can cast zombies from your graveyard this turn. So yeah, pretty decent, very unique, and it's a tribal planeswalker for Liliana, which is quite rare. Swords to Plowshare, so they can make us discard a card with Steward, which is rather annoying. I think for now we'll go for the Signet and the Temple. Tetsuko is super useful, but I just think it's not the right time for it. It's good as a finisher. And this Steward makes us discard a card at sorcery speed. So it's one of those annoying cards. It's kind of... you don't really mind it, but if they can recur it, then it does become very infuriating. Priest of the Forgotten God. So that is something I want to get rid of. So yeah, I'm going to exile the priest here. How much mana do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3. Well, the passage is going to come in tapped. I think we need blue here. So I think we go for the Saviour. So try and leave this to protect the Arcades. And then... yeah, I'm happy to Growth Spiral now. Yeah, then we might as well swing in because we can't cast anything else anyway. So let's just hope the Llanowar survives here. If they make us discard, then I'll probably get rid of the Murmuring Phantasm because it's just more expensive than the other one. Okay, so Rotting Regisaur. Now that's a scary card. Now, do they want us to discard a card here? So yeah, they're going to make us discard the Murmuring Phantasm. Fine. They're going to discard in their turn as well. So if they're going to play that way, then I guess we're just going to have to draw our own cards and try and play them as fast as possible, although that's not a defender. So yeah, let's go to their turn. Yeah, so there really is something to be said about the amount of defenders in the deck. Obviously, not every high toughness creature is going to net you a card with the Arcades. But yeah, we kind of want to get the assault formation to make all of your high toughness creatures be able to attack. It's kind of the linchpin of the deck. If you don't have it, then it can be pretty bad. Here comes Chupacabra, probably going to target Arcades. So yeah, this is where we sack to give the Arcades indestructible. So the Regisaur is most definitely an issue, but it is hindering them as well. Like they're losing a lot of cards by casting that. Ooh, Linvala is a great top deck here. And we can swing in with the Vigilance Flying. So yeah, Linvala can be sacked to give our creatures hexproof or indestructible. Again, I do apologise for my boy crying. He does like to choose his moments. Eternal Whale. Doomed Necromancer, so they can sack that to return a creature. Okay. Let's see what they do then. Okay, interestingly they pass to us. I guess we could... yeah, we can activate the Secret Door. Let's adventure. We desperately need some value. Scrying 1 could be good. It's another defender. Sure, I mean why not? It's, you know, it's the theme of the deck, isn't it? And then now we can fly in over the top. Okay. And so now they've emptied their hand, Rotting Regisaur is significantly stronger. So what can they do with Liliana here?
I'm not just feared, I'm respected.
So they got 2 zombies in the yard. Okay, so they're returning the elite. Okay, so now they've got still only... how many zombies have they got? 1. Oh, I see, zombies you control. Okay, so yeah. We might as well sack her then. It gives all of our creatures indestructible until end of turn. So at least we're going to be able to kill Liliana here. Okay. And then we can even adventure. Just being able to pay 5 is pretty awesome, like not even having to tap it. So yeah, let's finish Liliana off.
I'll actually try next
So it's
time.
definitely a slow burn of a game. And we're just looking for a finishing move. Something to turn the Aegis Turtle on would be nice. But again, their 6 toughness is a huge issue. Liliana's elite as well. Diagraph Colossus, damn. also a scary card. I'm surprised they haven't attacked yet with the Register. Birth of Meletis, that's decent. That will eventually give us a defender and a bit of land search, always nice. So eventually the secret door, yeah, I guess it's just too much stall, and it was enough to slow the opponent down to a halt.
If you enjoyed watching this video, why not try some of my other videos on my channel? And don't forget to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button for more content like this.